Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, big show coming your way as always, and it's been a cracking week. Lots of big snapper caught, lots of good fish caught, people actually able to get out 25 kilometres and have a fish, but still there is a lot of people that can't get out and have a fish, and that's very, very disappointing. We're going to really have a good chat about that tonight because we're bitterly disappointed here, and it gets worse. How is it trying to run a tackle shop when you're not allowed to open but fishing's open?
I've never spent as much time on the phone in the last 2 days than I have in like the rest of my life. Basically, it has non-stop just been going off, which is a good thing. Please don't think I'm complaining, because at least we can do something. Unfortunately, still not able to open the doors, Dave. But it looks as though that may change in a couple of weeks. But I tell you what, bring it on, because I'm done on the phone. I tell you, I'm done. Look,
and it might be a good thing, but it's a ridiculous situation, to be honest. Absolutely ridiculous
100%.
situation. We're going to keep on talking about that for the next hour. Trelly.
Yes.
How is infected Shepparton going? Hey, the
welcome,
COVID
my
central
friend.
You guys have got away pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, I know. I got tested.
You did?
Yeah, I had to get tested. Yeah, because I had a situation.
Yeah.
Emergency situation. But we all passed. We all passed with a negative.
Yep.
And, geez, they stick that thing up your nose a long way, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, screw around like poking me in the back of the head.
Yeah, have you had a test?
I haven't, no.
I have, yeah. Yeah, no, it's not that pleasant, is it? But anyway.
How did the phone go, Rads? You're dealing with all the fraudulent cards. Is that where you're under? You were under the card?
We've had a couple of those, unfortunately. But no,
criminals are out in grateful.
Yeah, we're lucky. We've got some good systems in place which picked it up before I could bugger it up. Let's just say that.
Yeah. But it is a ridiculous situation where pretty much the fishing has been eased for a lot of people. Now, there's still a group of people that can't go fishing. But it's been eased, and it's like people don't have packs of pilchards and silver whiting and stuff in their freezers all day long. You know, it's like saying golf's open, but you can't have a golf ball.
Got no balls.
There's nowhere to buy a golf ball. Not allowed to. You know, it is absolutely ridiculous that retail has not been able to open, and yet we're able to open for click and collect or whatever you want to call it, and
you'd be happy with what, 4 people in your store?
Any restriction, Trelly.
2 or 6 people.
It would be a hell of a lot easier than trying to
4 or 6
sort it out on the
phone. The thing is, though, we've been through this for months in a tackle shop. We've been through it. We've got all the lines drawn on the ground. We've been through. We've got a COVID safe plan in the tackle shops.
Everywhere.
Hand sanitizer. We've got all the plans, everything in place, and yet we can't be trusted.
No,
but hundreds of people can go into Woolies and all that every day. I mean, it's just, anyway, it's ridiculous. But let's get on with the show, folks. Let's have a look at what's being caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
Now, to all the people who sent photos of Big Snapper today, it's too late. You go to production yesterday.
See you next week.
It takes a bit of time to put this show together.
Took last week, but
not to take anything away from the people that sent in their photos nice and early, but we do have a cut-off for the show, and lots of good snapper caught today.
Yeah, it's been really, the last 2 days in particular, fired up massively for the snapper.
Let's go to Coronella first off, and some great snapper caught. I know Scotty got down there yesterday.
Yeah,
he got some great fish, but Ray the Butcher also got out. Have a look at this.
Ray,
Ray.
A couple of crackers.
Love it. Is that a vest from the 70s that he's wearing there? Is that a lamb's wool? What do they call it?
Lamb's wool line.
A lumber jacket or something like that?
Lumber jacket or a miller jacket or something.
It's been cold the last couple of days.
I got jacket envy from Ray the Butcher. But anyway, well done, Ray.
Good couple of fish there.
I tell you where there's some great cracking calamari right now, land-based. Have a look at this. Samantha Miller, a big calamari off Flinders Pier.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Big one, isn't it?
That is.
That's a ripper. Good on you, Samantha.
There's
Good big calamari.
it is the home of big calamari and land-based.
Especially land-based, yeah.
And there's been some cracking calamari around. Guesty got out on the water off Hastings, a lovely 5 kilo snapper. Have a look at this.
Guesty,
Well done,
good fish.
Guesty.
Nice hat.
got to be sun smart there, Charlie.
Yeah. Got the beard happening.
Yeah, look at that.
A few people with beards and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a bit of the.
Can't get to the hairdresser. I noticed you have, but.
You reckon I got to the hairdresser?
Got the Rocco?
I was queued up at 10 to 7 yesterday, Rocco at Lilydale, I can tell you. By the time I left, there was a queue down the road. It was ridiculous.
What time did he open? What time was
Pretty
his first
damn
appointment?
early. I normally get there at 7 anyway.
Oh, okay.
But, hey, Rocco the barber doesn't have appointments.
Just gets it done?
You know, yeah,
Just walk upstairs?
Yeah, he's like Chopper Reed, doesn't have appointments.
All right, let's head over to Port Phillip Bay, and Daryl Nat got out off Seaford. 13 metres of water. A lot of fish coming in from the shallows.
Yeah,
Too,
definitely.
like 6 and 7 metres.
I've
But have a look
noticed
at
that
this.
too.
Lovely 3 kilo
It'll
snapper.
be a nice eater, that one.
Nice one, Darryl.
Yeah.
Good.
For sure. Very nice.
I tell you what,
Yep.
has it been the biggest week? You've got to say congratulations to Travis Dowling and his team at the Victorian
100%.
Fisheries Authority, and the team up at Snobs Creek for putting all these stonkers in around the family fishing lakes in
so
metropolitan Melbourne.
So good.
Yarrambat Lake has been going off, and Tahir Yusani, I think I got that right.
Nice.
Tahir,
Oh, look at that.
that is a stonker. Well done, Tahir.
That's great.
Yarrambat Lake. I've got no idea where Yarrambat Lake is.
That's,
Oh, Siri.
You're on back.
I told that was stupid to do
Nice
on TV.
fish.
Oh,
Anyway,
you know.
we can do it again later if you want. Where's Yarrambat Lake? Have a look at this one. Daniel Lerovsky. I think we got that one right. 3.2 kilo stonker from Yarrambat Lake as well.
Yeah,
nice.
producing the goods.
It is, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yep. Looked like a carp
good
there for a
fish.
minute, but no, it's definitely a trout.
People are having a ball on these
Oh,
fish, aren't
so
they?
good.
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah.
really
Like,
are.
seriously, there was probably 20 photos that we could have picked from, and very, very hard to pick them out. But have a look at this one. Jeff Chapman.
Chappie! Oh, Jesus.
Down at Berwick. Now, you had the weight of this fish. What did it come in?
Well, we tried to get a weight on it, but it bottomed out 19-pound scales.
No
So
way.
that may well be
Yeah.
a genuine 20-pound plus
Yeah,
rainbow
right.
trout. It bottomed out 19-pound
Is that
scales.
in New Zealand or is it Berwick?
Well, yeah. Look at the size of that fish.
Chappie has been known to throw in a couple of
Can I
wobblies.
just say that Jeff Chapman needs a haircut?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey? He should have queued up with Rocco at Lilydale, I can tell you. But
Nice
anyway.
fish, mate. Look
Good
at
on
that.
you,
Yeah,
Jeff.
lovely
Absolute
fish. Well
cracker.
done.
Ripper.
Of all the places, right, where you'd expect to go to this place to watch an F1 Grand Prix.
Oh,
But
yeah, I just saw where it was from.
instead you can go to Albert Park Lake like Will Silby did and have a look at this.
William? Oh,
Sibley,
my
sorry,
God.
Sibley.
out.
Look at that.
Now
That's next level.
that is a stonker.
Yeah, he is extending his arms a bit, but that's okay.
By the
That's
way,
really good fish.
when Daniel did write to us, I meant to mention, and he caught that fish on a Pink Panther Tassie Devil spoon that you guys had on the show last week.
Nice.
He wrote to us. So
There you go.
See, every now and then we get one right. No?
now,
People took more notice.
old mate wrote to us. He said, "I know you wanted another word for a stonker."
Yeah.
So Vince Scolo went down to Navan Park Lake and caught this 6-pound behemoth rainbow trout on
Behemoth.
Thursday. Now,
Vince, did you give it that name? Behemoth.
would you call that a behemoth?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a good fish.
So kids catch
not-
bigger fish than that.
Not as big as a mammoth,
No.
but it's a behemoth. Yeah.
Behemoth. I don't
Is
know.
behemoth bigger than a stonker?
Yeah. Behemoth is as big as it gets.
Some bloke's written to us tonight when we get to mailbag from America,
Like a
Oh,
stonker's
nice.
and they have a name for these big trout.
Oh,
over there.
okay.
Going to talk about that when we get to
Sasquatch?
mailbag.
Big mother.
No. And you don't worry about the stonkers. If you just want to catch a goddamn big brown trout, go to Eildon Pondage. Have a look what Shane Branch caught during the week.
Oh, yep. That's
Now, is
nice
that a
fish
cracking
too.
fish or what?
Yep. I like them when they get that hook jaw.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is a
Fish too.
cracking fish.
On you, Shane. That'll cook up.
How good
rather
a
nicely.
trout.
Beautiful.
I know. I know
Brown
that.
or rainbow? What do you reckon? Looks
That?
wise. Looks wise. Brown or rainbow?
Oh,
Just in
brown.
general,
No,
not the
brown.
stonkers.
Yeah, brown, I thought that.
The markings are brown.
Yeah,
on
you're
those
starting to
ones,
lose it,
aren't
aren't you?
What? I just asked a question.
Isolation too long.
Those
I
fish.
asked a question.
You don't know if it's brown or rainbow.
When I went up to Tarrago,
No, not is that a brown or rainbow? Which fish looks better, a brown or a
Oh,
rainbow?
sorry, I took it wrong way.
It was a salmon.
But what I've got to say though is that
Salmon.
when we went up to Tarrago to do that bit of science stuff, you know, and we electrofished.
Yep.
Those brown trout that have been in a natural environment and
they start-
spawning up
Yeah.
and the colours in there.
That real
nothing
browny
like that.
terracotta. Nah, they're beautiful fish.
Gorgeous.
What are you
And
trying to
reds
say
in
about
them.
Travis's fish?
If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au. Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
Now, Chloe Malloy from the Collingwood Football
Must
Club
get
just
her back on the
reminded
show, I reckon.
me. Geelong by 5 points. What are you going?
Geelong by 13.
By what?
13 points.
Or Geelong by 2.
Are we? Oh, there you go.
We should
you
put
go.
some dollars on this.
We should. After the
Thanks,
break,
Jeff.
coming up, fisheries news, including a popular jetty closed since May. No plans to fix it. No plans to reopen it. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
All right, a bit of news, boys. This is a letter from the Minister for Fishing and Boating, Melissa Horn, and I know she's been on the program back in July when we had those few little shows, but
Due again.
dying to get back on the show when they're allowed, so we'll get her back on as soon as we can. But this is really good news. I know we touched on it a little bit last week, but dear stakeholder, it starts, I'm writing to inform you that we've introduced legislation to Parliament to establish the Better Boating Fund. The Andrews government is committed to delivering on its election commitments to allocate proceeds of collected boat licence and registration fees to improve facilities and safety and to establish the Better Boating Fund to facilitate urgent upgrades and continual maintenance. The legislation will establish a new trust account called the Better Boating Fund. It'll guarantee that funding can only be spent on boating-related facilities, services, safety and education, and it'll establish an annual public reporting requirements. How the fund will be allocated once established will be determined in close consultation with stakeholders to ensure that priorities are taken into consideration. It is my intention, this is the Minister's intention, that this strategy will be co-designed with key boating stakeholders. A ministerial boating roundtable will be established to support this process. So it sounds like there's going to be some decent consultation with people in the room that know their stuff, and that's a really good sign that things are starting to turn the corner, because quite frankly, and we all will actually we've got to upgrade. We've got an update on the Hastings upgrade.
have we?
Oh, nice.
And
Can't wait for that.
and you know, things. Oh, I mean, everything else has gone pear-shaped actually with boating, except for that. It's good to see. So, this is a worrying one, boys, because
Spider crabs?
no, just as bad, just as bad. We talked about jetties, I think, earlier on in the year, where lots of jetties have been
They
closed.
just started closing them randomly.
Yeah, now, they did open Frankston.
right,
I think they actually spent some money on it. But
Yep.
this one here, the headline is partial closure of Black Rock Jetty. Now, this was back in May 25th this year. A section of the Black Rock Jetty has been closed for public safety, and we've got a photo of it there. The outer section of the pier, including the head, the inner and outer lower landings, are closed to members of the public and berthing vessels. This closure is due to an observed failed pile beneath the deck. Closure of this section does not impact access to the rest of the jetty, and mariners are still able to launch vessels at the nearby Half Moon Bay boat ramp. Parks Victoria is working with stakeholders to minimise the impact of this closure where possible. Let's have a look at how that's all going in the next photo. Yep, going well. Going really well. So they're working with stakeholders to minimise the impact of the closure. I think what they mean by that is they haven't built the fence very wide so you can still get around it. So that's working there. Now, here's an email trail we got sent in to us. I'm not sure whether this is her real name, but her name's Karen. She could be from Brighton. Karen.
Everyone uses that.
Yeah, so Andrew writes, can you please tell me when the Half Moon Bay Pier in Black Rock will be repaired and reopened? I'm a local in the area and I go fishing down there with my 10-year-old son. And he asked me to find out. The reply from Karen is, a section of the Black Rock Jetty has been closed for public safety. The outer section of the pier, including the head, blah, 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 blah. The closure is due to an observed failure of a pile. Parks Victoria is working with stakeholders. Now, this is really important stuff. Parks Victoria is working with stakeholders to minimise the impact of this closure where possible. However, the work has been impacted by the recent health situation. I want to know if they've actually done one little thing about working with stakeholders, other than just fence it off. Anyway, Andrew writes back and he says,
They mustn't be in the
do
union,
you
those
have
workers.
any idea when it will open again? Is there a target date? Is there any funding? Is there a plan? Karen writes back, thank you for your email. I love how they start that. Thank you for your email, just to take up a little bit of room, make it look like a longer email. No further updates at the moment. However, now this is 10th of October, right? So they've had since May.
Yep.
No further updates at the moment. However, I've been assured by management that any updates and changes will be placed onto the website and within the local council news. What a load of rubbish from Parks Victoria.
They mustn't be in a union because all the union workers have kept working through this COVID thing.
But I think if we go back to that last photo, if we can get that one back up, plenty of people are working. No, not that one. The one before that. That's the next story. That's
I know what that is.
That's back.
Yeah, that one.
That's a swimming pool.
They're working with stakeholders there. The stakeholders are out there working. So anyway, I tell you what, Parks Victoria had just about had enough of you closing piers. Just about had enough. Now,
6 months later.
It would not be. I got an itchy nose tonight. Sorry, bloody hay fever.
Oh yeah. Right. Put your mask on.
It wouldn't be the same without an update on Hastings.
Here we go. Drum roll. Drum roll.
They've actually done some work.
Oh, hello.
No, let's have a look at the
pile
first.
warmer's on.
Yeah, let's have a look at the first photo. There you go. So that's an overhead shot. You can see the slabs. I think 16 slabs or something like that have been placed in there side by side. So they've done that bit. Next photo. And there you go. You can see the must be low tide there in the cofferdam.
Yep.
I don't think they're actually pumping the water out now because in case it collapses. But anyway, they've made a little bit of progress.
Yeah, they have.
Now it was meant to be open on 16th of October.
So what have they got left to do?
Well, all the top half. They've got to. I think they've actually got to. They've done the bottom half in slabs. They've lifted them in. The top half actually gets concreted.
Oh, okay.
They're just waiting for Mario, the concreter, to turn up now with his trowel.
Concreters are flat out, so just got to wait a second.
Oh, that's right, too.
Yeah. I don't think you can get there till December. But anyway, it was meant to be completed on October the 16th. So there you go.
Mario.
All right, another big story that's in the papers. It's in Parliament right now. And the heading on this one is camping on river frontages on Crown land leased by farmers triggers biosecurity and safety fears. Trelly.
Biosecurity.
So what
important.
happened? What happens? Right, there's along river frontages. There's a whole strip of public land, and public have access to it.
Yes.
They can go there. They can fish. If a farmer fences down to the water, he's meant to have stiles over it. Correct.
Correct.
So that you can access it, or don't fence it in the first place.
Yeah.
Right. So, under existing regulations, if I can get all this right, under existing regulations, the public can hike, fish, or picnic on licensed river frontages. Legislation to remove the prohibition of camping is currently before the Victorian Parliament. It passed the lower house in November 2019 and is currently before the upper house. So I don't get why there wasn't a whole lot of noise back in November when it passed the lower house. The change is part of an election commitment by the Andrews Labor government to guarantee access to fishing and camping on Crown land, to further encourage families and friends to spend time together in the outdoors. But farmers Fear, biosecurity, animal welfare and insurance problems will arise from having campers on their leased land, but it's not their land. Not their land.
Licensed land.
Now, this is a quote from a farmer. Have a listen to this. Now, this 5th generation farmer, I won't say where, but she feared that the energy and time her family has invested in maintaining and improving the land was wasted. This is what she said, we abide by that lease and we control the weeds. That's nice to know. But now, a lot of people coming in here are going to bring in more weeds. You ever packed weeds before going camping? I shouldn't ask you. Have you ever packed weeds?
Can't say I have.
No.
You roll them up.
This is a quote from the farmer. They're going to kill the grass by camping, having fires, doing wheelies.
Doing wheelies.
Every camper I know does a wheelie, right? So more weeds will grow. Hang on, so by doing wheelies, more weeds will grow. Let's just tuck that under there. Let's get on with getting that legislation.
A little point to make there is that this public land that they're talking about has to be accessible by public land. So you can't cross a farmer's paddock to get to a public land, say a strip of land on a riverbank. So what they're talking about is, just to make the difference, it's public land that you can drive access from a road or an easement, not crossing private land to get to that type of thing. So
all good. I think if you get onto vrfish.com.au, they've actually got a link up there where you can write to members of Parliament about this, because it's got to be open. It's public land. You've got to be able to access it. So, and lucky last, would you believe, and this is late news, we'll have all the graphics and all the details next week, but would you believe the Peninsula Snapper Challenge is on in 2020.
Oh, wow.
They have worked out a COVID-safe way to run this competition, which will pretty much be... there'll be no actual weigh-ins. It'll be done all online and everything, but you can fish. It is going to run Saturday, November 21st through to Sunday, the 29th of November. Like I said, we'll have all the details next week.
Oh, good effort.
But good on those blokes, David Glennie and the boys down at the Peninsula Snapper Challenge. I think it will probably be the only fishing competition in 2020.
Your anchor rope can be 25 kilometres long at the moment.
There you go. Coming up next, product of the week. And Cara takes us into the kitchen for a delicious mussel dish. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
All right, something a little bit different this week for product of the week. We're going to kick it old school, but we'll have a little bit of fun with it. Now, in Catch of the Week, you saw Jeffrey Chapman with one of the biggest trout I've ever seen in my life. What a lot of you may not know is Jeff is one of the pioneers of the recreational, I guess, retail part of fishing. And I managed to catch up with him maybe a week and a half ago now, as we met down at Casey Fields, 5 k's away, sort of from both of where we both live. And he gave me a couple of tackle boxes with some old school lures. And I thought... And I thought this could be pretty fun, because the lures are really cool, and you can see on the screen there, some of them are a little bit funky, but they all have these tiny little things which I wanna ask both of you if not only, say that lure was released today, would it be relevant, or if the concept of these lures was modernised, if it's something that people would buy. We all work in tackle stores. All three of us have been in retail for a long time. I'm going to start with this little crazy contraption. Charlie, what's that called?
That's a floppy.
That's a floppy. So the easiest way to describe it, it's kind of got like a I guess, a hard underbelly, but the main part of the lure was soft.
Yep.
It also has a bib that can be adjusted. So if you sort of left it that way,
it's going to go pretty deep.
Yeah, kind of a mid to deep diver, or you can pull the bib down and basically turn it into what we know these days as a wake bait.
Yeah.
So the back and the head would sit out of the water, that would wobble through and basically become a top water lure.
Yep.
Do you think in this day and age with the technology we've got now, if a lure that was kind of, I guess, a soft-bodied, hard body, with an adjustable bib, do you think it's something that people would buy?
Absolutely.
Because there's no doubt that would still work today.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no doubt it'll work.
Yeah.
It would probably cost $100 to make.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
The most of those were sold in this part of the world, and therefore the numbers dropped off and they stopped making them.
Yeah.
Made by a French company called Rublex.
Okay. So I reckon they'd probably work on the design
They come
these
in
days
three
because it
sizes.
looks a little bit suspect. But
Yeah.
now this
Great
one
That's
here
classic.
is I don't really want to focus too much on the body shape of the lure because that's something I guess has been modernised heaps. Not saying these wouldn't work, but just check out the bib on this thing. So it's a little metal bib. It actually clips down.
Yeah, it's cool.
There's 5 different or 6 different settings for that lure, from ultra shallow to a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, wake bait.
That is so good.
Yeah. And
solid click.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that
I
up.
didn't know technology existed in the 30s when Jeff started fishing.
Like the atom bomb.
But this is one of these things. I have seen this semi-recently, or in my time in retail anyway, and I can guarantee you that the bib, adjustable bib, was nowhere near as robust as what that one is.
No. Yep.
You actually feel as though that could be really useful.
That
for sure.
would be awesome.
Yeah. Now you've got to change bibs.
Well, you've got one lure that does everything.
You're adjusting your bib. If you're walking a river
Yep.
and casting, you're adjusting it to the depth of the pool that you're fishing in.
That's right.
You know, like, that is
That's right.
amazing.
And I don't think there's too much you would need to change to modernise it. Apart from the body shape of the actual lure, the whole concept of that bib, that meant to me, that feels sturdy as hell. It clicks into place beautifully. I think.
Imagine the mechanism inside that does that.
Yeah.
You know, what are you
That's
going to say
almost
to all
modern day ready.
What are
I
you going to
think.
say to all the people that want to buy these tomorrow? By the way,
Yeah.
Don't ring me.
See Jack.
We'll flash Jeff's number up on the screen. This one is really cool. I've actually, now, this lure here, back in, when I was a teenager, we maybe just got our
About 3
licenses,
years
maybe. I actually caught a fish on this lure because I was fishing with Jeff and he actually showed me how it works and got it all done. That is what I guess you'd say a modern day spinner. So it's got the little blade on the front, but the inside of the pipe there is hollow. And basically, you jam that full of power bait. Or a specific, I guess, a pasty scent. Now,
Really?
what a lot of people don't know, and I'm going to get shot here if I'm wrong, I think Jeff was one of the first people to bring power bait as we know it into the country. So,
What did you
Jeff,
think it was?
well, Jeff's a coarse fisherman. He's an unbelievable trout fisherman.
Yeah.
But with an English background, the coarse fishing he's got down
That's
pat.
right.
So all the does and the bits and pieces,
Yeah.
he's got a keen eye for it, and did notice power bait over in the States. Bought it over here to try it on our trout, and now it's the biggest selling artificial trout bait you can buy. That is a spinner, and again, I think
Classic.
Yeah, it's a classic, but to make it modern, I think you'd probably have to adjust the body shape a little bit. But the concept of jamming that full of some sort of scent would be awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Would be awesome.
Yeah.
Trolley, this one's aimed at you solely.
Yeah,
What
that's
the
it.
hell is that?
That's an aeroplane spinner. And it's been
course it
actually
is.
it's been modified a little bit because it's got that little creel on the front there. See that? That's been put on
Yep.
as an addition, I would say, to that one there. But very popular Murray cod spinner.
Yep.
Again, where do you go from there?
Well, could you, if you were to say, put a moulded plastic fish body on it with these,
Oh, you're getting close.
would it work? Like,
Yeah.
because that looks
It's a big
ugly as hell,
spinner
to be
bait, isn't it?
honest.
It's a big spinner bait. But what we used to do is you shoot a rosella, right, and tag him on the back, a nice big orange tail.
This would go
It had to be an Eastern.
Eastern,
Yeah, because they had the red tails. So yeah, and you drag it up and down the river. That's a classic. That's ripper.
That is an interesting one. It takes some mucking around with. I don't know if it would hold up.
Basically Australian made. Alpha made them in Brunswick.
We're getting told off.
Oh no, I'm getting yelled at. But Jeff, thanks for those. I've got a couple of tackle boxes there full of this stuff. It's really cool, and I still think the concepts stand up today. I love it. Thanks, Jeff.
Well done, ads. We're getting yelled at. We've got to go and have a look at what Cara's got in the kitchen this week. Let's have a look at this.
This week I'm lucky enough to get my hands on these beautiful fresh mussels from Mount Martha along the Mornington Peninsula. I'm going to cook them in a cider with chorizo and leek. Sliced up the chorizo, so we're going to put that into a nice hot pan and let them brown off. While they're sizzling away, time to prepare the leek. Now we're just going to slice that up, and then we'll be adding that to our chorizo and adding a little bit of butter and some olive oil. Once the chorizo is nice and browned and crispy on both sides, we're going to throw our knob of butter in and a little bit of olive oil. We'll let these melt, and then we're going to throw in our leek and let that cook off. Okay, we'll just let this saute for a couple of minutes. We just want that leek to go lovely and soft. So our leek and chorizo is sauteed off beautifully. I'm going to add roughly half a good handful of fresh parsley, and we'll save the other half to mix through at the end. And this is where the fun begins. We are now going to put in a whole bottle of cider. You can choose any cider you like. And then we're going to put in our mussels. I love the smell of fresh mussels. This makes you think of summer, being by the beach. Okay, just sort of push those around so they've all got a little bit of space. We're going to put a lid on and let them cook for approximately 5 to 7 minutes. Our mussels have all opened up and they smell and look amazing. So we'll just pull the mussels out. A couple may still be opening, so we'll just leave those ones in a little longer. Lucky last. Now to finish off this sauce, I've got some Greek yogurt, just plain. I'm going to put 3 good sized dessert spoons in here. We'll stir this through. This is going to give it a nice little creaminess. So now we can pour our beautiful sauce straight over top of these mussels, and then we'll be ready to serve up. To plate up this dish, a generous serve in each bowl, and we'll just finish off with some of the reserved parsley that we kept, a nice slice of fresh crusty bread and a lemon. And remember to get all of the chorizo in there as well. This is a fantastic starter or a light lunch. Either way, it's going to leave your friends very impressed. And look at that. Smells and looks absolutely spot on. Give this one a go at home.
I don't know about you, blokes, but my mouth is watering.
Cara, I reckon that was one of the best ones.
That looked good.
I'll tell you what, I want to watch it again, but we can't. Coming up next, Kramer's Mailbag. Plenty more on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worslam's Tackle World Cranbourne. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
tell you a bit of mailbag to get through. Hi guys, this is from John. John writes, there seems to be some confusion over the latest range of covert restrictions. Really? Just starting now? Could you please clarify the travel restrictions of 25 kilometres from your home? Example, is it to your nearest boat ramp, say 23 kilometres away, and then 2 kilometres out to sea equals 25 kilometres? Or is it 25 kilometres to the ramp and no restriction out to sea from the ramp? What?
This has been a question we've been asked so many times the last couple of days.
And I don't want to put an answer to that because I think it's ridiculous. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's just park that one. Yeah. This is from Rod. G'day, Kramer. Firstly, I love the show. I'd like to express my disappointment with today's announcement. Raising the travel distance from 5 to 25 still means I'm unable to fish Western Port. I live in the eastern suburbs and travel to Hastings, which you would be so disappointed if you travel to Hastings right now, because Better Boating Victoria decided to rip up the ramp in snapper season. Even Cara is further than 25 k's. The only ramp within 25 k's is St Kilda. I was hoping that the new restrictions would allow full travel within the Melbourne metro region. Please be a voice for those who love boat fishing but happen to live away from the coastal areas. Rod, we
couldn't agree more.
We just couldn't agree more. That it is ridiculous, the 25 kilometre restriction. Sam writes, hi David, I'm absolutely ropeable. I've been home for 8 months. I've done the right thing. I live in Greenvale, 36 kilometres to my my closest boat ramp. Just because we live in the northern suburbs, we have been denied from going fishing. You said last week you were going to be able to go fishing without any restrictions. That's what we were hoping for. Can you please help us to get back on the water fishing, please? From Sam. Keep going.
Try.
This is from Alex. Firstly, I want to say that I love your show, and it's definitely the most informative fishing show on TV. Thank you, Alex. Now, given the fact that you've been getting stuck into Better Boating Victoria, have we?
Oh, just a little bit.
Okay. Over the past few weeks about boat ramps, I was hoping you could throw another one into the mix. Is there any chance you could get an update on the status of the very, very, very long-awaited Maribyrnong River boat ramp? It is a simple, single-lane boat ramp and trailer car park project, and it has now been over 4 years since being announced formally in media releases by the state government. This project has been handballed around from VFA to Better Boating with zero updates or communication. We just want to know what is going on. Thanks in advance. Well, I don't know who we talked to about that.
Question.
We'll go to the Minister's office because I think it's 4 years is a long time.
Next week answer.
Yep, we'll try and get you an answer for next week on where is the Maribyrnong River boat ramp. Kramer, I'm a keen fisherman with 3 boats and trailers. I've been paying registration on all during this lockdown. There seems to be a form of extortion as I'm forced to pay for something I can't legally use. I know some insurance companies have reduced payments for lack of use. When I inquired at Vic Roads, they just said, sorry, bad luck, nothing we can do about it. I look forward to your response.
That's a very, very tough.
3 number plates you need, all the same number for starters.
I understand it, but it's tough.
Liam, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Oh, this is a good one. So this is from Phil. Refer to your talking fishing show, re stale fuel. My partner put 40 litres of diesel fuel in her car accidentally. Could not get rid of the contaminated fuel. However, a phone call to the EPA Victoria, they referred to Belinda Road Tip in Camberfield. They took the fuel for free. Hope this helps the viewers. Well,
okay.
Be good if you live near Campbellfield, I guess.
Within 25 k's.
Leave the bung out and drive there.
Oh, this is, this is an interesting one. G'day, guys. Great show. 2 things. 1, Stonkers, no. Lunkers, yes. I grew up in the west of US. It's lunkers there. It may have come from Norwegians.
That's it.
And 2, my grandfather and father both had cabins upon the north shore of Spirit Lake in Iowa. There were probably 10 cabins there in the late 40s and 50s. Our cabin didn't have electricity, plumbing or town water. My grandfather, LP Day, was a fisherman, duck and pheasant hunter and a conservationist. The town of Spirit Lake is across the lake. Berkeley, his first name, which you probably know, started there selling flies from his basement. After a brief interruption caused by a disagreement in Europe, he returned and built up his business. His sons took over and went international. Berkeley is still big there. I went back 3 years ago and stayed at the lake. My summers there were the best. The other big thing in Spirit Lake is Victory motorcycles. This is a good history lesson here. I'll keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Probably try and go to the end of the show here. The other big thing is that lastly, I had all but given up on fishing in Victoria. There were people in fisheries who were bent on destroying recreational fishing. I am so pleased to see it come back, and you and your program and crew have played an important part in that. Take care. Thank you, from Wayne. There you go, Wayne. I've got to say, a lot of reward from bringing fishing back from where it used to be is for Travis Dowling and crew. And good ministers along the way as well.
I've actually got to meet, it's the same elderly chap, Bodine Berkeley.
There you go.
About 12, 15 years ago at the tackle show in the States in Orlando, yeah.
There you go.
Elderly chap, lovely chap. He actually had every member of the tackle show bust to the SeaWorld for a show.
Yeah.
That was Bodine Berkeley, yeah.
There you go. Now, if you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Now, Trelly.
Yep.
I think you've been accused of being a doctor once or twice.
Gynecologist.
I got a question for you. So all the coronavirus restrictions are based on expert health advice, right?
Yep.
What expert health advice would there be to support the limit once on the water? Restricting the limit you can go once you're out on the water in a boat. What health advice could you think of that would support that?
Well, it comes down to basically number of people in the boat. I mean, you're not going to put 20 people in
but what I'm saying is there anything that should restrict you if you go out in your boat from going 1 kilometre or 2 kilometres or 10 kilometres? Is there anything?
No, nothing.
All right, thank you, Dr. Trelly. Adam, you've been accused of being a doctor once. Can you tell me this? What expert health advice could there be that supports only making announcements on a Sunday? Because what we saw was we had to wait till Sunday for the announcements, big build-up, and then today, being Tuesday, we get told the numbers are good and we're going to be making some more announcements on Sunday. Now, I am buggered if I know why that would happen. Is there any health advice that says that, say if retail's going to open Sunday, could it open tomorrow? Well, why do we wait for Sundays?
It's done on the numbers, isn't it?
What?
It's done on the numbers, not dates, wasn't it? Someone's put a date on
it. It was meant to be about the numbers and not the dates.
There is another common denominator on a Sunday during the announcements.
Yeah.
That they claim they're working till all hours of the morning on Saturday morning. All I can say is whatever they're doing to make these decisions must take a very, very long time. I can't work out how the next step isn't already done. But if they want to say we're going to use retail because he did use as an example of what will be brought forward. So if they acknowledge they could bring it forward, wouldn't that mean they've got a plan? The plan's done. They've done it.
Well, didn't they say like 10 days, certain number? So as soon as they're 10 days on that number.
Well, when the rolling average gets to less than 5. So if that gets to less than 5 tomorrow, why isn't the announcement made tomorrow? Or can we only do that on a Sunday? Because of expert health advice, we can only do that on a Sunday.
Yeah, well, no politician's lost his job over this.
Can you tell it's starting to tick me off? Like, seriously, these health experts, I don't know. They're making it up as they go, I'm sure, and it's not on. It's hurting lives, and if these people have never run businesses, I'm sure, because they don't know that every single day it takes its toll. Absolutely every single day it takes its toll, and why tackle shops aren't open, why you can't travel to regional Victoria, except for Shepparton. Right?
Yeah.
I just.
But you know what it is, when they go to get $1, they don't put their hand in their own pocket, they put it in our pocket.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing, these people.
Oh, we're getting yelled at. Come out next, Hotspots, the all-important Hotspots. We'll see if we've got a little bit more time for this debate. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
All right, plenty of hot debate going on during the break, I can tell you. So we'll come back to all that stuff. Let's kick it off now. It is the start of snapper season. The water temperature is just nudging that 15 degrees in most of Port Phillip and Western Port. And I wouldn't say the snapper are 100% on the bite.
No, but it's a good sign early.
People are catching some good fish, aren't
they?
Good
sign early.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely good fish. I think Jason Turner, 7 kilo today.
Yeah, good fish today.
Scotty would have got I think he got a 7.4 kilo yesterday.
And got a few fish too, like good numbers.
Some good fish around. So let's kick it off here. If you're in Port Phillip Bay, Altona is our #1 hotspot. Head out to 12 metres. They're saying that there's quite a few fish out there off Altona. Cara, I'm hearing it was very, very busy. Big crowds are back, and I heard a whisper that they're taking ramp 3 out to fix the platform, even though it's been in that condition for months. I hope that's not true. I just heard it on the street. But if you want to launch out of Patterson Lakes, if that's within your 25 kilometres, then head out to Edith Vale, 17 metres. There's some cracking snapper out there.
Yeah, there has this. Yeah, it's definitely starting to look pretty good, I think.
Pilchards this time of year?
Yeah, pillies. And there's been a little bit of a mixture in size in pillies that we've seen as bait come through the shop.
Yeah.
I've been a huge fan, especially early, of those bigger pillies just taking the head off. Get some of that extra scent going.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I think we've got Port Phillip Bay Pilchards coming this week.
Giddy up.
So there you go. Phil McAdam doing the goods again. All right, over in Western Port, some cracking snapper coming from Eagle Rock. Easy to get to out of Warneet. It would be easy to get to from Hastings if there was a boat ramp at Hastings. Charlie, did you know that they're ripping up the boat ramp at Hastings during snapper season?
No, I didn't know.
Anyway, good snapper off Eagle Rock. Some cracking fish from there in the last couple of days. And the North Arm also producing some beautiful snapper this week.
Yeah, nice. Sound them up.
Cracking fish. Let's head to the regions. If you're lucky enough to live in the regions, except for Shepparton, where there's infections going everywhere.
Oh, it's all good.
Camping.
Charlie, once again, some good big Murray cod coming out of Lake Eildon.
Yeah, there's been some crackers up there. And big lures. You know, some of those lures you're seeing are like huge. Yeah. But surface lures, morning, evening.
An Eastern
Rosella.
to the treble on a bit of.
Really quickly, what's the water level like at Eildon?
It's about 55%, 56.5%.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's steadily increased, which puts it out over some of those flats, and you'll see the yellow bellies starting to poke their heads out now too.
Yep.
Nice.
And talking to Frank Melito today down at Gippsland Lakes in Lakes Entrance, and he said some beautiful dusky flathead about some of the river mouths and in the shallows. Like fish really shallow. They're up. It's that time of year where they get up there and they sunbake because the water temperature's still a bit cool. But you get in a foot of water and it's a little bit warmer there, and the flathead are just sitting there. So, and Frank's in a new shop now. If you want to go down and see him in Lakes Entrance, go and check him out because he will give you all the advice of where to go when you get down there. So there's your hotspots for the week. Hopefully Melbourne people can get into regional Victoria soon and go fishing. We'd hope that would be the case before Melbourne Cup weekend. Now, boys, this is... don't get me started. We should bring that segment back.
I think we just brought it back.
If you draw a line, if you draw a circle around Mornington, for instance, right? So you live in Mornington. Now, we all know there's been some big calamari down on the Mornington Peninsula. There's also a very good run of whiting. So it is a little bit cool for snappers. Some people don't like going out until it gets to that 16, 17, 18.
And Mornington is
so you draw a circle around Mornington, 25 kilometres. You pull up 1 kilometre short of the Rye boat ramp. That's okay. There's still lots of calamari and that down in the peninsula around Tookgarook. You go to Tookgarook, they haven't dredged the channel yet. Not that they've had, it's been a busy winter. You get to Anthony's Nose. They haven't cleaned the sand off the ramp. I do not get who is running boating in Victoria. I do not get it where We've been locked down. There has been so much time for this government to do maintenance on these ramps, and they draw a line around Mornington, and you can't launch at the ramps to get you into the peninsula to get some of those big calamari and whiting because they haven't maintained the ramps. It's a joke.
Yeah, it has to be frustrating.
Absolute joke.
Yeah.
I don't know who's in charge, but I'll tell you what.
It's just like belting your head against a brick wall. We talk about this every week.
Yeah.
What expert health advice would there be to not dredge the Tootgarook boat ramp?
Wait till Sunday.
Wait till what, Sunday?
We'll find out Sunday.
That's got me stumped.
Yeah.
What would you boys like to see this Sunday announced? Because we've got to wait till Sunday.
I think the 25-kilometre thing, I think you've
Got to go.
Scrap it. I have no issues with leaving the Melbourne bubble, so to speak.
Yep.
No issues with it.
The Ring of Steel, they're calling it now.
Yeah, I know. It's great they give everything a name.
And also that distance from, once you get on the water, you should be allowed to travel.
Yeah, there should be.
spot.
Yeah, so you've got
Like we
25
talked about.
Ks to find a boat ramp, and that shouldn't include what you're doing on the water.
No,
I don't
that's
get
right.
that.
Yep.
And retailers got to
Retail's
open,
gotta
and
be
not
open.
just because I work in a retail store and we're in the prime of our season, but it's been a while.
But we have a plan, don't we?
Yeah,
That's right.
And every retail store does. All they need to do is be able to open the doors.
Yep. Yep.
It can be done respectfully and safely because it was being done before.
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I know. You know, like our Laverton store's in the same boat.
Yeah.
So actually, we'll have some fresh bait because the freezer carked it the other day. So when we do reopen, we'll have all fresh bait.
But you know, we're good friends in the complete angler chain. You know, Glennis,
That's right.
at Dandenong and Claude at Bentley, and that those guys should be able to open.
Yeah, and
we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, and we are.
Danny at Caram, and you know,
and
it's
from
just
small business perspective, we're taking the COVID thing very seriously. You know, there's hand sanitizer everywhere. We've got how many people you're allowed in the store. It's we just want to be able to open it.
really hard. That's it for Talking Fishing. Hope you enjoyed the show. Let's hope that by this time next week, someone has the sense to remove the 25k restrictions so that everyone in Melbourne can enjoy the great fishing on offer right now. Until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing